we can mine that information and discover unusual patterns of people who are suspect and therefore ought to be examined in case they might be terrorists or criminals. And there is a central idea that more information leads to better decisions. There's no grounds for believing any of this, but it is an article of faith, and it arises from an idea that Whitehall does know best, that Whitehall has always known best, and we are not able to take decisions for ourselves. That's how you can link it back to the nudge. Let me enumerate some of the many systems that are sharing information about us as we speak. There's the DVLA driving centre in Swansea, which not only discovers whether you can drive or not, but also now shares information about whether your car tax is up to date, whether you were insured, passes that information back to the police. The police themselves have records of car movements. There is a large system across the country which the Association of Chief Police Officers proclaimed as recently as December 2005 would make Britain the first country in which every car journey was recorded. Proudly, they said. Going in and out of airports when you fly, not only all the information on your passport is passed to a central database on the outskirts of Manchester, but also all the information that can be provided by the travel agent or the carrier that they happen to have about you. Where you sit, what you eat, who you travel with, what your ongoing plans were, and so forth. The National Health Service database, although the coalition proclaimed that they would give doctors and patients more control over their own information, we have in the Health and Social Care Bill going forward a new quango being created which would carry forward the work of the National Programme for IT in the National Health Service, and whose main role is to amass and centralise as much medical information as possible on the population, ostensibly to make it easier to serve you, but also, coincidentally, to feed 31 at my last count NHS bureaucracies with information, and also to pass information, to sell on information to big pharmaceutical companies for longitudinal studies. Everywhere we go, one government agency or another government agency thinks it's a good idea to suck up information about us. And all of them think it's a good idea that that information is exchanged between them, whether or not there are any privacy objections or not. That is now the vast scope of what No2ID is trying to fight. We didn't start off like this, but unfortunately we seem to have got a job for life. If you want to talk about that and ask any questions at all, I am only too happy to answer them.